Okay, so let's just get right into it. Today we are doing a deep dive into a case that really, I mean, it basically defined the true crime genre for the social media age.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's one of those cases that just gripped everyone.
right. We're talking about the murder of Travis Alexander and the trial of Jodi Arias. And I think for a lot of people, her name has just become this shorthand for, the ultimate toxic relationship.
Yeah, it became almost a meme, which is really unfortunate. Because when you actually dig into the sources we're using today, the actual trial records, the crime scene reports, the media coverage from the 2013 trial, you realize this isn't just a sensational tabloid story.
No, it's incredibly dark.
It is. It's a clinical, textbook study of fatal obsession. Our mission today is to really unpack the psychology behind that.
Right.
How does a relationship that starts with such intense romance and even religious conversion turn into a level of violence that literally shocked the entire country?
And that's exactly why we're looking at this. Because as you dive into this story, you see those warning signs that were just completely ignored until it was way too late.
Exactly. Murder rarely just happens in a vacuum. It's usually the final act of a long, escalating pattern.
Right, so let's set the stage and look at the people involved. Let's start with Travis Alexander.
Okay, so Travis was 30 years old, living in Mesa, Arizona. He was a motivational speaker and a salesman.
He worked for a legal services company, right?
Yes. And he was very successful. People really liked him. He was incredibly social, very embedded in his community, and a very devout member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day
The
Saints.
LDS Church.
Right. He had this very curated, very positive life trajectory. He was basically the golden boy.
And then we have The Spark, September 2006, Las Vegas.
Right. They meet at a work conference. Jodi Arias was a photographer from California, and things moved incredibly fast.
I mean, we're talking 0 to 60 in days.
Exactly. They became physically involved almost immediately, which, is a big deal given Travis's strict religious beliefs. But the physical part wasn't even the biggest red flag.
It was the conversion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jodi wasn't Mormon when they met. But very quickly, she dives entirely into his faith.
He gets baptized.
She gets baptized. She adopts his worldview. And from a psychological standpoint, this is a massive warning sign.
Because it looks romantic on the surface, like, oh, I'm changing my life for you.
But really, it's identity disturbance. She didn't have a strong sense of self, so she just absorbed his. She became him to secure the attachment.
Which works at first. I mean, they had this long-distance relationship, California to Arizona, but you can't keep a facade like that up forever.
No, you can't. And when Travis started pulling back, when he didn't reciprocate that extreme level of commitment, the cracks really started to show.
And this is where the toxic cycle starts.
The constant arguments, the breakups, and then the secret hookups. It was chaos.
But his friends saw it, right? I mean, reading through the accounts, his friends were definitely sounding the alarm.
Oh, they were very vocal.
Yeah.
They saw her as clinging, intensely jealous, controlling. And things escalated. There were incidents where his tires were slashed, his email was hacked.
Which is classic stalking behavior.
Exactly. It's the transition from love to control. And Travis actually knew how dangerous it was getting.
Yeah, that quote, the one he said to his friends, it just chills me every time I read it.
It really is haunting. He explicitly told his friends, "She scares me. I think she could kill me."
He actually said that out loud. And yet the tragedy is he still let her back in. He still answered the door.
Which is a really important point for you, the listener, to understand. The cycle of an abusive dynamic is complicated. Just because he's still engaged with her doesn't mean he wasn't terrified.
Right. It's not black and white. Which brings us to June 4th, 2008, the end game.
Yes. Jodi is living in California. Travis is in Arizona. And she decides to take a road trip.
But friends get worried because Travis misses an incredibly important work trip to Cancun.
He was supposed to go with a different woman, actually, which is a key detail regarding the motive.
So his friends go to his house in Mesa to check on him, and they walk into a nightmare.
They do. Upon entering the home, they find a horrific scene in the bathroom. And we should warn you, the details we are about to discuss from the crime scene reports are very graphic.
But they're essential to understanding what the prosecution later called overkill.
Exactly. Overkill isn't just a descriptive word. It indicates a specific psychological state of mind. It indicates absolute rage.
Right, because Travis wasn't just murdered. He was obliterated.
He suffered 27 stab wounds.
27.
And his throat was slit from ear to ear so deeply it almost decapitated him. And if that wasn't enough, there was a gunshot wound to the head.
And defensive wounds.
Yes, severe defensive wounds on his hands.
Which means this wasn't a quick surprise attack where he was instantly incapacitated?
Not at all. The blood evidence in the bathroom showed a prolonged, violent, terrifying struggle. He fought for his life.
And usually, in a scene that chaotic, a killer leaves a mistake behind. A hair, a fingerprint.
But Jodi left something much, much bigger.
The smoking gun? Or, well, the camera.
The camera. This is the aha moment of the entire investigation.
I mean, it literally changed everything. Police find a damaged digital camera inside Travis's washing machine at the crime scene.
Right, someone had thrown it in there, presumably thinking a wash cycle would destroy digital data.
Which, thankfully, is not how memory cards work.
No, it's not. Forensic investigators were able to recover the deleted images, and the timestamps on those photos documented the murder as it happened.
It's actually hard to comprehend. We have a visual timeline of a murder.
We have photos of Travis alive, in the shower, looking at the camera.
And then, moments later, a photo showing the camera suddenly dropping or falling.
Followed by images of blood on the bathroom floor.
And then the final photo.
Yes. A photo of Travis's body, bleeding, moments after death. All time-stamped within minutes of each other.
The grim irony of it is just astounding. She was trying to clean up the crime scene, trying to wash away the evidence, and she unknowingly handed the police the most damning piece of evidence possible.
She literally documented her own crime.
So the evidence mounts. The police bring her in. And this is where we see the evolution of her defense.
The changing stories.
Right. Let's walk through them because it's a masterclass in manipulation. Story number one.
Story number one was simple denial. She claimed she wasn't even in Arizona. She said she hadn't seen Travis in months.
But then the police show her the palm print they found in the blood.
And the photos from the camera.
So she pivots to story number two.
The masked intruder theory. She suddenly remembers being there, but claims two masked intruders broke in, attacked them both, killed Travis, but miraculously let her live.
Which makes zero sense. Why would brutal killers leave the only eyewitness alive?
It made no sense at all. It was absurd.
So eventually, as the trial approaches, she pivots to the final story. Story number three.
Self-defense.
Right. She finally admits to killing him, but says it was entirely self-defense. She claimed they were taking photos, she dropped the camera, he got violently angry and attacked her, and she had to fight for her life.
But the prosecution easily refuted that.
With the overkill.
Exactly. You don't stab someone 27 times, slit their throat, and shoot them in the head to protect yourself. The sheer extent of the injuries completely contradicted any survival scenario.
Which brings us to the trial itself, Phoenix, Arizona, 2013.
The media spectacle of the decade.
It really was. It was live streamed daily. Millions of people were watching this from their living rooms, their offices. It became a global obsession.
And the courtroom was just completely chaotic. They were presenting graphic evidence, playing sex tapes that the couple had recorded.
And Jodi's behavior in court was just bizarre.
She had this incredibly calm demeanor.
Even her mugshot, right? She was smiling in her mugshot.
Smiling. Doing headstands in the interrogation room when the detectives left her alone. But the most shocking part of the trial was her decision to take the stand.
Which most defense attorneys would strongly advise against.
Absolutely. But she spent 18 days on the stand.
18 days testifying. That is just a marathon of cross-examination.
And her goal was character assassination. Her only defense was to convince the jury that Travis was a monster who abused her.
But she had no proof of that.
None. Just her word, after she had already demonstrably lied to the police multiple times.
And the prosecutor, Juan Martinez, he just dismantled her.
He was relentless. He pointed out all the premeditation, like the fact that she rented a car in a different town.
Oh, and the gas cans.
Yes. She brought extra gas cans from California so she wouldn't have to leave a credit card trail at gas stations near his house.
She turned off her phone so her location couldn't be tracked. It was entirely premeditated.
And the experts who testified painted a very clear psychological profile of her.
Let's talk about that profile, because it answers the big question, why?
The expert testimony highlighted extreme obsessive attachment, severe fear of abandonment, and deep narcissistic traits.
Basically, she could not handle being rejected.
No. To someone with those traits, a breakup isn't just sad, it's an existential threat.
Yeah.
The prosecution's theory was that she realized she could no longer control Travis. He was going to Cancun with someone else.
He was moving on.
Right. So she chose to control the situation the only way left to her, through ultimate violence. If she couldn't have him, absolutely nobody could.
And the jury saw right through her lies.
They did. On May 8th, 2013, they delivered the verdict. guilty of first-degree murder.
And she was eventually sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in 2015.
A completely justified sentence given the sheer cruelty of the crime.
Definitely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, it's worth reflecting on why this specific case still fascinates people so many years later.
I think it's because it perfectly illustrates that terrifying trajectory. How love, or at least the illusion of love, degrades into obsession and then explodes into rage.
It's the ultimate tragedy of intimate partner violence. The last person Travis trusted, the person he allowed into his home, into his shower, was the one who ended his life.
She used his vulnerability against him.
She did. And based on all these source materials, there is a really provocative thought I want to leave you with today. Something for you to just mull over.
Let's hear it.
We spend so much of our lives being taught to fear strangers. We lock our doors against the unknown intruder in the dark alley. But sometimes, the most dangerous people in the world are the ones who have already looked us right in the eye and said, I love you.
That is a chilling thought.
Mhm.
But cases like this prove it's true.
It really is. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back next time to explore another fascinating set of sources.
See you then.